We're live on here. You guys have had the full episode.
Oh my god.
Have we not been live on YouTube?
Just filmed what we thought. Oh, there we are. We're live now.
What's going on?
So, OBS, the streaming thing that I use, worked, but YouTube was like still asking me if I'd like to go live that whole
No.
time.
So we're 15 minutes in, but we're not.
Every time we start a real good. Oh, no.
So, how has Lou managed to answer that though? Oh, so that's why they've been messaging. I bet they've been messaging saying, "Where are you? You've only just come on." Yeah, we know, but how do you know that? I'm confused.
Okay, if you're just tuning in now, welcome. Hi.
Hello.
We've already started this podcast. I don't know where you guys were.
It's a good job that you guys are live on Instagram because
I know.
you heard the introduction.
My word. Okay. Oh, it was going so well. We got so far into it. That always. It's never on one where we're like quiet and don't know what to say for ages.
Not that that ever happens. I'm never stumped for words.
Right. Sorry, chicken. We're starting again.
So, if any of you guys did jump over to YouTube, you'd have quickly come back again thinking,
The rocker.
yes, they're not live on YouTube. Well, I feel completely deflated now.
I know exactly what you mean. Right.
I feel gutted for you guys because now you're going to have to listen to us repeat ourselves.
Well, now you definitely have to come over.
Start again.
Only just come on. Sat with your page on YouTube waiting for it. Oh, my word.
Gosh. Well, let's not waste any more time because we are live now. And you know, should we play the intro or are we not going to bother?
No, we already played it once. We got time to
I
make
know
it.
we're 20 minutes in. This is not good.
Right, okay, I'm going to speed run basically what we just went through because there's a good chance a lot of you already know about this anyway. We were saying that me and Lindsay have only recently found out about it today, like in the last week or so, and we're amazed by it. And mental health is threaded throughout the whole thing. So let's go. Right, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, if you've not been looking at your social media and finding out for yourself, is a victim of Munchausen's by proxy. She has, hey guys in the chat, what happened? I was waiting. I'm sorry.
I know. Hi, Taz. Hey, Jay. Lovely to see you there. Yet again, that's brilliant.
Oh God, stay with us, guys.
Taz, what happened? We don't know. We don't know. This was a technical error that wasn't actually to do with it. It's to do with the streaming app.
Yeah.
So Steph's just going to quickly run through the background story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Okay.
Those bullet points. Go for it.
Born in 1991 to Dee Blanchard, a mother who now we realise has Munchausen's by proxy, lied about her daughter's health since birth. She has made up stories about her having sleep apnea, leukemia, muscular dystrophy, and requires a wheelchair. She says that she has asthma, needs a feeding tube, and that she suffered from seizures, hearing, and visual impairment.
And that she'd got a low mental age as well, or low intelligence, something.
Yeah, she was reducing her age for multiple different reasons.
Yeah, just to add to the manipulation factor.
Yeah, but saying that she has a younger age, mental age than she is presenting with, whatever, reduces her responsibilities.
Yeah. It makes it easier to kind of say, oh, they don't know what they're talking about.
Easier to
Yeah.
Do you know what's killing me is the first bit was going so well, and I'm just rushing through it and making mistakes. I'm like, if you'd have found the first one,
That's right. These guys did.
Please get over there and comment and be like, this is really good.
I actually even saved the video this time. I don't usually save the live, but
start from here and then go to YouTube, and you can carry on for the rest of it.
yeah.
So, because of all these lies, literally from birth, she was fed medications that she did not need. She had multiple surgeries and procedures, including the removal of her salivary gland, which helps you to create saliva, basically. Aids digestion, keeps your mouth moist, and supports healthy teeth. If you've seen any pictures of her, you'll see that her teeth, before recently getting them done, Queen, they were not good. And in the act, a Hulu special, it shows her teeth beginning to fall out,
Mm.
and
I'm
mum
definitely
pulling the
gonna
rest of them out.
I'm definitely going to watch one of the films or something following on from this. I've been reading
Yes.
about it all day and so looking forward to this conversation because I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it as well.
100%. And I feel like, I mean, every time I talk to someone, they seem to load more about it than I seem to. So
Mm.
it's just it's interesting.
It's
I love it.
how do you say the disorder?
Munchausen's by proxy.
Munchausen's. It's that intrigues me because in my line of work, we've come across it before where their parents sabotage their success. They will tell the student, you have got this wrong with you over and over and over again. So I've actually come across it in real life. So to read this story and how out of control it got.
Yeah, and I think just a little understanding of how that happens and where it comes from, it could have helped avoid everything that happens. And again, that'll be more revealed as we go into it. Um, Outside of her medical treatments or whatever, they gained a lot of charitable handouts.
Including a
One,
new house.
yes, Habitat for Humanity helped buy build her house. This whole community came out to build them a house after fleeing.
Yeah, wherever they were before. I know they went to Missouri following a hurricane.
Right, yeah. So they lied about being victims of Hurricane Katrina, which we
Yeah.
know was devastating for so many people. It was a really huge
Then that,
event that happened in that time. A lot
yeah,
of people really suffered. They took advantage of that, not only for their new house, but also as a way to,
explain missing records and
yeah,
think
exactly.
results not adding up. And so every time a doctor did get close to discovering the truth and question it, she would just change the doctor that they were seeing, and even to the point of cutting family members off as family
Right.
started to realize, she doesn't need a wheelchair or whatever it was, and then she'd just cut the family off.
It's bizarre. So if you're
Mm.
watching this and you're thinking like, how did all this how do you get away with it? There are many points where the social services they dropped the ball on it, but at the
Yeah,
same time, just like things in life seem to line up for them, and it just it's terrifying.
it is terrifying. It certainly is.
So when she was 19, she actually tried to escape for the first time, and Leverhub.
Mother was so suffocating, so powerful, so manipulative that Gypsy may have felt any efforts to escape were bound to fail.
Gypsy planned to run away, but when she tried, her mother found her
I hate AI fucking voices. It makes me laugh. Da, 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 da.
and the abuse at home only got worse.
The first time I ran away from home, I had met a friend. We both went to this sci-fi fantasy convention called VisionCon. I had told him vaguely about what was going on at home. He told me, you just pack your stuff and you can come live with me in Arkansas. And I said, okay.
And that shows a level of
I
desperation.
snuck out, got a ride from a stranger,
Exactly.
and went over to his place, and then within like 4 hours, my mom found me at his place because we had mutual friends in common. So she was starting to call the cops on him. And she took me back home and smashed my computer with a hammer, smashed my cell phone with a hammer, and said, if you ever try to do that again, I'm gonna smash your fingers with a hammer.
What do you do?
So it kind of gets quite sinister, doesn't it? Because Munchausen's is very much about wanting to be the caregiver and wanting to be the person that's needed, that's looking after that. That's why they'll put these diseases and issues onto their children so that they
Yeah.
can then nurse them better. But then the moment she tried to break that connection, break that spell, that's when it got quite dangerous and violent.
Yeah, it's
like a Stephen King plot.
exactly. And the way this story twists and turns, it is terrifying. But at the same time, it's like, what was she supposed to do?
Yeah, totally. Because the trouble is, when she was going to if she'd have gone to the authorities, the mum had got such a control over the fact that she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's got this mental
Yeah.
age of 7. She's got all these health problems. you'd just kind of just take what the mum was saying as gospel. And
Yeah.
I think she had Gypsy Rose believe that no one would believe her anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think Child Protective Services came a few times, and each time she was able to convince them that it wasn't a problem, there was nothing sinister going on here, everything's fine, and all you have to do is convince them to leave. And
Yeah.
what else are they gonna do? It's terrifying. So yeah, what else do you do? She says she's gonna smash your legs, was it?
No, fingers.
Fingers.
Yeah, fingers. But with a hammer. Oof.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that's
that must have took a
terrifying.
lot of courage to have left that first time at 19.
Yeah,
I'm sure when I read about that particular escape, the mum managed to convince the friend that had helped her that she wasn't even 19, she was a minor, as in she was under 18.
yeah. So I think, like you said, she changed her age frequently, right? But she made it very clear that you don't want to be running away from her and running away with her. She's
Yeah.
just not even of age, and it'd terrify a dude, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would.
But at the same time, uh, as much as it sounds like a knight in shining armor, if you meet a guy and they're like, "I will save you," that in itself to me is a red flag.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that level of desperation she must have felt because she didn't know these people. She got a lift from a stranger. I know she knew the guy she was going to, but those acts that she took were quite risky in themselves to get away.
100%. And if you're met with, "Yeah, come and stay with me," rather than, "That's awful, we need to go to the police and get bigger." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This problem is bigger than me. I wouldn't be able to help that person.
But this again is the trouble with once you've had those experiences with the system and it's not helped you,
Yeah.
you're not going to turn to the system again, are you? If she's had social services come in and they've let her down, and
Yeah.
you're just going to think, well, they're not going to believe me, so I'm just in this situation where I've got to do something about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what happened next then?
So, cut to meeting Nicholas Godejohn.
Yeah.
It's quite a cool last name for some reason. I quite like it.
Well, it was through a Christian dating site, and it did make me smile that his name's God John, and it was through the Christian dating site.
Yeah.
I was like, did he change his name to that? Like,
I didn't know it was
Christian dating site. But it did state that in the thing I read earlier. Don't quote me. Just,
Well,
that's what they said.
just the contrast between what went on, because he encouraged her to dress in his female counterpart to his multiple personalities.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yes, so we are literally going from one psycho, I don't know, psycho, batshit woman
to another.
to another.
Which again, we do see these patterns running, that those that have been abused tend to just jump from one abuser to another. But
100%.
how could they know? It's like an
all
energy.
you know.
Yeah, but I mean, as in like, how did that? How do you end up like if you're with a narcissist? The next person you meet and fall in love with is a narcissist, but how is that possible? Like, it's just crazy. It's like the whole, I believe in auras and energy and that they communicate, but it's like, protect me. Don't go and find something else that I'm trying to run away from.
Yeah, I think, especially online culture, it's crazy where there's like this knight savior, where like if you have ever been on, what are these things like Chatterbait or like where OnlyFans or whatever, the comments are flooded with, "I will save you, I will protect you, you don't need to do this, you can quit your job, I will look after you." It's very like,
but that's kind of Munchausen's anyway, isn't it? Wanting to look after, I will be the savior here, I will get the either sympathy or attention for Well, you were saying earlier, it's similar. Well, it gives you narcissist vibes in the sense that it's hard to diagnose, it's hard to pinpoint, it's hard to convince somebody that that's what's going on.
100%. And I struggle to believe a doctor will straight out be comfortable just saying to you, "I don't believe you, that sounds like Munchausen's to me," because that in itself wouldn't help you want to keep going to the doctors.
Yeah. Well, even actually, one of the things that I read about Gypsy Rose earlier was that there was a doctor at one point that put together a little case file believing that Dee Dee was that it was a Munchausen's scenario.
Oh God.
But didn't ever move forward with that, didn't do anything about it. And then when it came out, obviously years and years later, when it concluded, which we'll get to how it concludes, the doctor was like, "Oh, well, I didn't bring it to anybody's attention because I didn't feel like I had enough evidence. And that,
Right.
you know,
okay,
that
yeah.
is the problem, isn't it? Like, even the doctor felt like, how can I evident that that's what's going on? I suppose he's looking at this mum
Yeah.
thinking she could well believe she's got this sick little girl, and the girl could well be poorly.
It's hard, isn't it? And I don't know if our NHS would quite work exactly the same, but if you're moving from state to state and your healthcare providers are all private, how much are medical
Can they
records
track?
being shared? Are they moving
Yeah.
along with you as you? Yeah, it's terrifying. I really.
It is terrifying. I think it's bizarre and it's frightening. They're the two words that I was using to describe it on my social media earlier. Like, this story is bizarre and it's frightening.
It's bizarre, and it's going to get more bizarre.
Let's see this dressing up video then. Was that?
Oh no, it was literally just a picture.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, the cross-dressing. Yeah, it was. So he was encouraging her to.
This is not the cross-dressing. This is her dressing up in. So basically, he apparently had multiple personalities, and he asked her to dress up in all these different sort of fantasy outfits because each one of them matches his other personalities.
Goodness me.
Alter ego sort of thing.
Wow.
Right. I know, right? So once they started meeting, they had this date at the cinema that they thought they'll casually like try and meet up, and it will make it look like they just met there and the mum will like him and it'll be fine. Obviously, we know Dee Dee up to this point. She's batshit. Yeah, she weren't having none of it. But Cinderella was quite captivating because she managed to escape her mum to go to the toilet long enough to have sex with this, shall we say gentleman? Shall we not? Let's not.
Sex with the dude in the cinema while her mum was watching Cinderella?
Yes, in the bathroom. And, this is by her own account.
Hey, Nikki.
So, yeah, that's kind of crazy that happened there. But from there, they formed this relationship where this guy clearly understood she's in a real bad place. I'm going to need to do something extracurricular to get her to be able to hang out with me.
Yeah.
So, I won't play it all, but on this video here, I move. If you go to that video, it's got the whole text conversations with them planning the murder.
Oh.
So apparently it started off with her just saying, would you protect me? Basically, she's asking him, and he's like, yeah, of course I could. And then it's slowly going into like a planned homicide, basically. So what happened is that fateful night, everyone went to bed, she left the door open, he came in, she hid in the bathroom, covering her ears, and he stabbed her. He stabbed her mum multiple times.
Yeah, Dee Dee.
Killing her. And apparently then knocked on the door and then scratched. There was like a sign to say whether she'd come out. That is just like
so extreme.
And like I'm saying the sentences and I'm like, I can't say another sentence right now. I just need to process what I've just said.
It's kind of like she tried to run away, it didn't work, so she killed her. You know, it is very extreme, isn't it? No, it's just like I say, I'm feeling the same as you, but it's just a bit shocking. You can't justify it, but on the other hand, when you see the build up, you can see how she might well have felt like there was no other option.
Right.
And even this Gypsy Rose girl, she's been brought up not attending school, not having those social experiences. She's gonna be mentally kind of warped in the sense, damaged. So how much could she judge her options? How much could she, really kind of, you and I could weigh up our options, but she really got the capacity to do that.
100%.
Which is probably why she got quite a lenient sentence. You say it was quite a lenient sentence.
Yeah, I think, and especially in this interview particularly, I think her honesty about her part in it really helps her. Like the fact that you'll see in this, but yeah, I'm gonna say something about what you were just saying, but
no, just like how much blame can you put on? Well, how much responsibility can you put on her? Because I mean, he, on the other hand, the guy, he just kind of came into this as a new. He seemed a bit stab happy to be, so quick to,
Yeah.
to be like, yeah, okay, cool.
So
That sounds like a great idea.
he has a criminal past as well. I don't know if you've heard anything about him.
no.
So he has a previous charge for masturbating to porn to McDonald's for 9 hours.
Wow.
9 hours.
9 hours?
I don't know how anyone does that for 9 hours in or out of a McDonald's. Second of all, how do you leave him there for 9 hours before you stop him?
You know what I heard once, that McDonald's changes the speed of the music if they need to get people out. So I've just got this.
Change the speed of your cooker. About me, I'll be straight out so if you can give me my food.
But I mean, still, that's a big jump going from a charge around masturbating in a McDonald's to murder, I mean, the guy was clearly pretty tapped. But again, like you say, if you met somebody and they were telling you that their mother is horrifically abusing them or whatever they're telling you, you would be like, right, okay, we can talk to this authority, or we can talk to that authority. You'd go through those options, wouldn't you? That's where that was the missing link here, was somebody with enough about them to point her in the right direction.
It's the fact that she tried to get help and got brain injured by Star.
She had tried to get help in the past with social services and things like that and been let down. Then she's tried to run away. That's not worked. And then she's ended up going to the extreme.
If you're in a dire position and it seems like there's a knight in shining armor, and instead of taking you to an institution that can really help you, instead he's like, I'll look after you. Also, want to pretend to be my daughter while we have sex and different things like that, or want to pretend to be dead while I have sex with you. Like,
there's red flags everywhere. But this is the thing, Gypsy Rose hasn't had those experiences to weigh up that that's unusual, or she hasn't got those friends to have conversations with, for her friends to go, mate, that's weird. That's not what people usually ask you to do. So, do you see what I mean? She's quite, what's the word? Like, naive, yeah. Very naive, yeah.
So I won't play all of this. It's just a small bit that talks.
I'm going to be going home and binge watching all of these. Next week I'll be like, let's talk about it again.
You did that voluntarily, correct?
Yes.
He didn't make you.
No.
What were you doing while your mother was being killed?
I was sitting in the bathroom, on the bathroom floor with my hands covering my ears.
And how did you know when it was over?
It was a code that we settled on to use.
Did you settle on this code together?
Yes.
What was the code?
I believe it was 3 knocks and 2 scratches on the door.
Why did you need a code?
To let me know when to come out of the bathroom.
Did you have any concerns about what might happen?
Yes.
What concerns did you have?
I was afraid that my mother would end up hurting him.
Well,
that is so honest.
And that's the thing, he's getting at the point that they needed a code because it could well have been the mum on the other side of the door. Don't come out of the bathroom if she's overpowered him, killed him, and now your mum's going to kill. Like, she's already threatened to break your fingers with a hammer.
Ain't it? Like, it's hard not putting your own relationship with your mum on that and being like, you were worried about what? But that's how dire this situation must have been.
She's very childlike, isn't she? Again, I think that's because she's been so sheltered.
Yeah, to some extent, it's probably not a lie that she has the learning age maybe of a much younger
person. Just because she's not been exposed to life.
The socialization, it's a big help to being the adult that you become.
Now, this knife, why did you buy the knife at Walmart?
I did not buy it. I stole it.
I apologize.
So honest.
Yeah, very honest. And like you say, I think that definitely would have played into her more lenient role, because it'd be that thing of how calculated was this. It was quite naive, if you know what I mean. She's not even trying to. She's not. She's not manipulative, is she? In the sense that she's not trying to.
Not at all. And if you want to carry on watching more of her statement, again, that was just the end of that, and that's just her testifying
All
against.
right, I'm just gonna go in
Yeah,
there. You can wrap this up, right? I mean, I've always been into kind of true crimes, and this has got so many elements, the psychological elements.
Yeah.
You know,
It's juicy, but
it's
it's kind of
sad also.
perverted, isn't it? That we enjoy, not necessarily enjoy, but
Yeah.
it is a slight bit. Not entertainment is not the word. Can we say that?
I'm
Is it
sure.
okay? We like murder.
No, we don't like murder.
Do we like murder?
It's happened now, so we might as well be entertained by it. No.
It's so neurotypical to be against murder.
As
It's a
an
joke.
option,
It's a joke, by the way.
There's-
See, there is a lot of things being like, this guy was autistic, and that's not the reason he did what he did. Can we just be under agreement that it's not the autism?
Yeah, no, certainly autism doesn't make you a murderer.
Yes. Oh God. So yeah, absolutely.
So that happened then.
Terrifying.
How were they discovered?
It was real silly, bad crime.
Yeah,
behavior,
because again,
right?
they're not
crimes.
criminals, or she's not at least.
So didn't they mail the bloody knife back to his house?
Oh, really?
There was all sorts of like, they kept their bloody clothes. I'm not going to say that word again because I don't want to get striked. But
Yeah.
yeah, they just did real stupid stuff. And right after it, I cannot find. Well, I can find it, but what it does is.
What's that part? Sorry. He allegedly then said he wanted to.
Oh yeah. So after the after the killing took place, he allegedly then said he wanted to sexually,
Assault.
yeah, violate her dead body. But Gypsy Rose apparently said no, just do it to me instead. And he explains in a video that he was just.
He's in it for his own gain, there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the flashback. I can't find the link to that now, but yeah, he basically
That is.
he said that she waited in there and shaved her legs and her private parts, and he was doing that for her. And apparently, he also wanted to have pink nails at the time that it happened. It's very like.
So he'd got this whole kind of fantasy. It sounds like he's
100%.
definitely took advantage of her, of the whole situation.
Yeah.
You know, he was just looking for this opportunity to murder.
Yes, this is opportunity knocks for this guy. He was like, "Hello, like I can
You want your
carry
mum
on.
dead? Like, okay.
I'll do it for you.
Wow.
And I'll get sex after."
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I cannot play the actual video because it ends up getting claimed because it's from a news site that doesn't want me to use their videos apparently. But this is just a still from it right after they make this vlog. And I know we're in our vlogging era on this channel right now, at least trying to get there. But this isn't the era that we don't need to be vlogging post murder.
No.
And it's chilling. I don't know if you get to see this, go and watch it. But she's literally like, "Hi, honey, we're eating something." Like eating a. It's one of the creepiest bits of footage out there.
I mean,
from this.
Again, it highlights that emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence about it, or rather the lack of emotional intelligence on Gypsy Rose's part, in the sense
100%.
that there's no depth of feeling of what's actually just happened. But then how can you expect somebody that's never had those experiences of love and care and attention and real experiences to be able to weigh these things up?
Exactly. You can't tell me you'd do anything different. Like, oh, well, I just, she's 19, she could have left. You don't get it.
Yeah.
It's this very
She didn't even know she was 19.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, this idea of being abused and controlled and kept there is that you're chained to a radiator. And that is the minority of people that are kept under those kind of control and circumstances.
Well,
often it is, you are manipulated to believing that if you leave, bad things will happen to you, that no one likes you anyway. So where else are you going to go? I pay for everything. I'm financially...
There's another term, isn't there? There's an actual name when you fall in love with your abuser.
Is it coercive control?
I can't remember, but I know it's kind of like a trauma bond, as it were. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
like,
yeah.
yeah, so they don't leave, and it is almost out of choice because they
Yeah.
believe they're in love with, or the feelings that they've got for the person that's abusing
Yeah,
them
it's that
keeps
first
them there.
window of meeting each other, right? Remember when we talked about there's oxytocin and then at the start
Yeah.
it's dopamine. So when you first meet someone, especially if you've got ADHD, that whole person can become your life for a
Yeah.
good like 6 months, and your mates are like, "Where is she?" And you're like, "Still loving him." Yeah, exactly. And
Obsessing
it.
for 3 months
Yeah.
until I'm over it.
So I'm sure when you met Lee, that's all your life was, and it was like me and him, we're happy. Now, if Lee happened to have been
A murderer,
not a
yeah.
nice person like he is, you would have still, for whatever reason, because
Yeah.
during that dopamine time, you ignore the red flags. We don't see them. Your mates are like, are you sure? But you're like, I
He
don't see
wants
him.
he wants you to play dead while you
Yeah.
have sex.
He didn't slap me today. I really like him. It just really and especially if you're coming from a broken place in yourself when you start that relationship as well. So you've got about 3 months before the oxytocin starts kicking in, and that's what
bonds you.
yes, that's what babies get with their mums and babies when it's born, parents. It's that initial bond, and if that has happened through a not so nice time, it can be impossible to leave. You've all heard that mate that it keeps going bad and she'll never leave them, or he'll never leave her, because it's not that simple.
I really want to know, out of our viewers, who is feeling sorry for Gypsy Rose right now, because
I can do a poll.
yeah, that would be cool. Like, do you feel sorry for Gypsy Rose? Do you feel like her position was justified, if you see what I mean? Like,
It's hard to word it, Alex, because I go
Like-
back to that, like,
do you have sympathy for Gypsy Rose? As I know that,
I feel like you can have sympathy for her, but also not
yeah, not think it's
necessarily
right.
agree with. I want to say it's murder to do the right thing.
Well, no, see, this is the thing. I don't think she did the right thing, but I've certainly got sympathy for her. And I think there's people out there that wouldn't have sympathy for her because they'd see it as quite black and white, that murder is murder and she shouldn't have done what she did. And
Yeah.
there's other ways out,
I think we should put, "Are we okay with murder now?" I'm joking.
No, we've got
Right.
cancel.
Did Gypsy Rose do the right thing?
Yeah, because if you weigh it up, did she have any other options? Would her mum have ever relinquished that control? Would she have just kept dragging her back? Because I read somewhere that she did tie her to the bed on one of the returns.
Yeah,
She
for
shackled
2
her,
weeks after that first
Yeah.
attempt. It wasn't just the threatening of the
breaking of
breaking of
fingers.
fingers and breaking of stuff. Like, yeah,
She actually shackled her.
tied her to the bed. So the chat, the poll is in the chat.
Yeah. So
Wherever
what
it
was
is.
the question? Sorry.
Do I need to answer one?
Did Gypsy Rose do the right thing, or did
Oh, I can't answer it right now. I think it's still being processed anyway. But get your answers in the chat. At the end, I'll come back to it and have a look at what the thing is, because I want to look at what has happened since then.
Yeah, because that might change whether you feel sorry for it. Because this is the thing, at this point, I do. It's then kind of thinking about the monetization moving forward, the fame.
Yeah. Again, this is where it's not there's not like a one answer
No.
at all, which is why we're
And
covering
we're
it.
certainly not claiming that our answer is right.
No, definitely not. So sentences. Gypsy Rose got 10 years sentenced, and she served 8 of them. She was released on the 29th of December. And then Nicholas was sentenced to life and is still serving.
I think
Hopefully that won't change.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I think judging by what I've read so far, he was a very dangerous person.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Dee Dee and for Gypsy that she met him, because had she have met somebody that wasn't so dangerous or was a little more stable, they may well have helped to get out of that scenario without murdering her mother,
100%.
Oh, I've got Amazon. I'm watching this later.
So yeah, Mummy Dead and
Oh
Dearest.
my goodness.
This
I love
was-
psychological stuff.
This was made a documentary, basically.
Oh, in 2017. Wow.
Yeah,
So this was when she had been sent to prison and, it had been concluded at that point.
this is why I'm like, how am I only just hearing about any of
Yeah,
this?
'cause I do watch a lot of these.
This is I've seen this advert way more. Maybe not recently, but I know in the last few years, this was all over my timeline, and I had no idea what it was about.
Mm.
And it follows the story of Gypsy Blanchard's life and going through everything she did. It's very graphic. It's very well done. And I was just trying to work out, like, does she get residuals for this? Does she get paid because of like the likeness of her? But there's that law. I don't know if it's in here in this country as well, but I know in America you cannot profit from a crime you've committed. So she has no right to be able to go to Hulu and be like, "Hey, pay me."
Profit off the crime.
Yes, 100%.
So that's a bit backward, really.
I
So
think
you can profit off someone else's crime, but they can't profit
Yeah,
off their
I
own.
could be wrong, but I think it goes back to the O.J. Simpson trials
Yeah.
from when he wanted to write that book. It's called like If I Did It. Have you seen this? And the family managed to get the rights to the book, and then this law was
Okay, yeah, to protect.
so
I mean,
they changed the front cover. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
no. I do agree with that, because
They
otherwise...
made the if tiny.
Oh, I did it. Because there's who was I just thinking of then that's in prison now? Charles Manson, maybe.
Oh yeah.
There was some, or did he just come out? And there was a lot of talk about he was going to write a book, and then people are saying
Oh,
it's a profit.
Bronson.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm here for Bronson to come out. He's my favorite prisoner. Yes, 100%. I love
favorite prisoners now.
I love the story of Bronson. He was that expensive. The Queen let him go. The first time she was like, I can't afford you. Just go.
What? Yeah, I don't know much about that story either, but I know we spoke about it in PHSC as a bit of a kind of moral dilemma
very
type
cool.
thing. Yeah, to
Well,
try and get them on board.
The film Bronson, starring Tom Hardy, is a beautiful man, and he takes liberties when he acts. He is like snotting from the nose constantly every time he shouts, but he's got a good old sexy body in it, and he's just funny, and he depicts him really well. He was an artist.
Yeah.
That was one like way of like almost reforming him,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's sold his art since while being in prison. And I'm here for look, if Gypsy Rose can get her own all these followers, then
Well, this
so
is
can we.
this
surely.
is the thing, isn't it? So she was released just before the new year of this year, so literally 3 weeks ago. But she has rocketed in fame, hasn't she, in terms of her
Yeah.
social media?
So I did write it down. I forgot to put it in here. But on TikTok, she has gained 9.6 million followers.
Wow.
And on her Instagram, again, might have gone up since then, is 8.5 million followers.
Hey, Mum, you better watch out, because I'm seeing sensing a good way to send us viral. Yeah, I know you said you wanted to get us viral this year. Whose mum are we sacrificing? No, I'm joking. That's really bad taste. I'm sorry.
It's a taste and actually went down, I suppose.
Yeah, I know. I'm just jumping on the back.
You've got to make a joke of this stuff, because I actually thought about doing that to my mum for a second.
Yeah.
And my mum was the opposite of Dee Dee. I'd be like, Mum, and she'd be like, shut up.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening, calm
Like,
down.
your
I'd be
arm's not broken, it's fine.
I remember coming to it at a young age, like, I have like different voices in my head, and I go, shut up. Like, it's a bit 21, being diagnosed with bipolar.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe there was something about that.
I don't know whether anyone has seen Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globe, and how I mean, I think he's
like
such a
Ricky
clever
Gervais.
comedian, but he absolutely just shreds like everybody that's there. Apple, and he's joking, but
yeah.
what he's saying is they're literally like
Have you
laughing
seen,
through.
because the recent Jeffrey Epstein files came out
Yeah.
about plane passengers, and oh my god, I've been keep seeing the cut from like Oscars from a few years ago where he addressed them and says, "Oh, you perverts, you pedos," like addresses a whole room of them.
Yeah,
And it pans around to their faces, and you can see them like,
who invited him again?
it's like, you better laugh at that. You're one of them, clearly. And how quickly we saw many of them on them lists.
I love Tara's getting in with the really below the belt jokes in the chat there as well. I'm down for this.
You got it. You've got it. So yeah, post success, let's see what she's up to. I love this video so much Because obviously people have been like,
I'm here with
Who's
Gypsy
that?
Rose herself, the celeb of the moment. So I know you have so many followers, so much love on social media. But what I want to know is, what do you have to say to the haters?
Well, you know, can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now.
You can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now.
I'm going to need my internet to start working again because
I'm living
Oh,
my
right.
best life, and y'all can't take that from me.
And the D is
Fire!
so that reference, if I could try and find it,
The D is fire.
D is fire. It was left in a comment section. It was left in a comment of her current partner. So if I get this over here, then you might be able to read it. So he posted a picture, her new husband, I believe, and she commented on the Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who matters. If you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. Besides, they jealous because you are rocking my world every night. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently he is quite a nice guy, and we haven't heard anything too nasty about him yet. However, I'm a little bit worried about who she would naturally find herself drawing attention to. So he might just seem like he's very nice, and I'm sure her mum did for a very long time.
Or
And again,
maybe history's going to repeat itself. She's now going to become the abuser, and he's the one that's going to be manipulated.
it can happen.
It does happen.
100%. And I just hope that there, as much management is being put into her social media accounts right
Yeah,
now, it's the
into
same
her
amount is put
psychological
in.
health.
Exactly.
I mean, even when she's saying I'm living my best life now, I
Your
mean, fair
newfound
play to her. The
social
girl has had
media-
her life ruined, destroyed by her mum. You know, up until
Yeah.
the age of 20 odd, that was no life to be leading. So
Yeah, it's hard because, you know, if it had come to down like an act of passion where in a moment she's flipped and killed her mum, then you kind of maybe understand it more. But it's the premeditation, which of course I understand the pressure of what life would have to be able to make a plan like that.
Yeah.
But she now does state that she regrets.
Oh yeah, I mean now she's more mature, she's older, you know, she's more worldly wise and things. I'm sure she looks back and thinks there was other ways to get out of that.
100%. 100%, yeah. This is her reacting to the
Your
theme she
newfound
has now.
social media fame is next level.
I don't even comprehend it at this point
Really?
because for me, I'm just another face in the crowd. So when I came out of prison, I didn't expect this giant wave of social media.
I'm of the understanding that she's had a team getting ready for her release.
Oh, there'll be people that are that's the thing. It's the other demons that wanted to profit off this. You know,
Exactly.
people are there in the wings waiting, like, oh, we can manage her.
Ain't it?
You
Should
know,
be easy to manipulate.
Yeah, poor girl. It's literally from one disaster to another at this point.
Ain't it? That's what I mean. I'm like, look after this girl. Make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm posting selfies just like the next person would or the next.
Yeah.
Not the most interesting one of them. There's funnier ones to get to, and we're running out of time. And
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
Person, not thinking anything.
Okay. Oh. This final one, and then we'll let you go.
Oh yeah,
guys.
this is so I heard you play this earlier, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to see that because I heard it, but I didn't get to see what was going on.
This has been for me one of the funniest things to happen.
See, this was what I heard at the start, and I said, oh no, I'm going to end up laughing on a really serious podcast. But actually, I'm channeling my inner Ricky Gervais, and everything is jokeable.
To be fair, Tara, I've just noticed, is channeling her inner Ricky
Well,
Gervais
that's what I
with
said.
that comment, my mum.
Didn't you hear me say it earlier?
No, I didn't. I'm so sorry.
That's what I said. I went, hey, up, Taz is getting below the belt with me with the jokes. I thought you ignored it on purpose. I was like, clearly Steph doesn't know how to react.
No, I did not hear that. Oh my god, that's
That's who Taz was putting up with sacrificing.
Yeah, Tara knows herself. You've got to laugh about these things because, my God, they will screw your life up if you don't. If you just takes life too seriously, it's not
Yes.
good for you. So,
Awkward moment then.
yes.
So awkward moment on the View that's what the program's called. Gypsy Rose telling Joy Behar that murder is wrong.
Yeah, if you've never watched The View, it's like the US equivalent of Loose Women. So these women are, just like your mum talking to her. Oh,
alone in this. You need my words that you are not alone in this situation. There are other ways out. I did it the wrong way.
No. Don't say that.
I did.
You had no
I
choice,
did
really.
something wrong, and I paid my dues for it.
Oh, you mean that part?
Yes, the part of it.
Oh, yeah.
That part of it. Yeah.
Where are you going with that?
I
mean that part.
Yes, the part of it.
yeah.
That part of it.
What did you think she was talking about? That, you know what I mean? Because that is the part she did wrong. Like, what other part did she do wrong other than being born? Like, it's just like, wow.
Oh, that's enough for me.
Yeah. Oh, you mean that? Oh.
No, after that, I've got to clock out. I don't know what you're on about. So,
The poll.
The poll. This is quite cool. I love this. Can I take this out to show people? No, I can't. So I don't know if you can see it active there. I'm pretty sure you can see it. 67% of you believe Gypsy Rose did the right thing. The 33% if you're saying you don't agree. And you know what? I fully relate to both sides.
Yeah, I do. Because it's like, it's not, I think the word right thing, is she justified? Then yes. Because it's not necessarily the right thing, but do I think she was justified? I do think she felt completely like there was no way out.
And again, like I said, if it was like that moment of passion, then maybe it'd be easier to get past. But there's like the planning to have sex with the corpse after, and then there's so much. The little vlog they made,
and even like now, she's got the voice. We've spoken about that kind of softly voice before, haven't we?
Yeah.
That I'm so innocent and cute. And...
Yeah, Paris Hilton is a very.
And it does come. It is usually when people have suffered abuse that they do keep this.
Yeah, you resort to that inner child.
Voice. Yeah, I mean, takeaway from this for me. I mean, it's a very juicy story in general, and I'm really looking forward to watching the actual documentary later on.
Yeah.
The takeaway really is that Munchausen and Munchausen by proxy is a real condition.
Yep.
In fact, the name's been changed to factitious something or other, so there is a different name for it now, but you will still get the right thing if you search for it. Steph will find the word for it right now. But it's just that being aware that does go on, and it is actually more common than people might believe. And it can come down to people lying about diagnoses, exaggerating illnesses. They're looking for attention, they're looking for sympathy, and then even using their children as a weapon or a tool when it comes to that. So yeah, factitious disorder and factitious disorder something or other on another is the by proxy version.
Factitious disorder imposed upon another, is it?
Yeah.
A rare type of mental disorder in which a person fakes illness or fakes illness of a loved one by proxy.
Yeah. So I think, we are always trying to raise awareness around mental health and the kind of broad spectrum of mental health disorders. And this one is one that does go on. But I think next week we're going to go into health anxiety. Yeah. And also talk about eczema.
Yes, psychodermatology. For anyone that's got skin problems and mental health issues, has your doctor ever asked you how both of them interact with each other? Because I know personally my skin doctor, my dermatologist, has never asked me about my mental health, and my psychiatrist never asks me about my skin and how it impacts me.
Yeah, and it's really bizarre actually to think of it, isn't it?
And they are so linked, it's unbelievable.
And
so that's
sure
next week.
Your eczema probably plays up more when your mental health is down in the dumps, right? It's like
literally linked. There's not even a delay in the reaction. Like if I, for example, get to argue, I'm arguing with someone, I'm stressed, or it's like I'm having a breakdown or whatever. The second I calm down is normally because I've realised I'm in pain because I've just ripped all the skin off my arms.
I get a patch of psoriasis above my eye if I'm really run down and really stressed out about certain things. the patch of psoriasis above my eye is then my indicator of, oh, you're close to burnout. Like you need to do something to look after yourself.
I
It's
know what
going to
you
burn
mean.
out.
Like, this bit of my body cannot take it anymore.
See this patch here? This is like the warning light on a dashboard. Like on your, yeah, exactly. It's like take notice because
Engine.
engine, yeah, engine levels now.
100%.
So we are going to continue with the conversation almost next week, but kind of relate it to us and ADHD and you as the community, and hopefully provide actual advice and
Yeah,
things.
we'll always relate stuff back to us because
That's what we do. Narcissists.
we're narcissists.
We're not. We did the test.
Maybe we need to do it again.
A year on, we will do it again to see if our results have changed.
That's funny. Right, we've kept you long enough. It's been an hour. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed us discussing this topic. It's a bizarre one, and I hope you've look after yourself after this. You
Yeah,
need to.
certainly. If you are concerned about somebody, the way they're treating you, or the way that somebody is being treated, please do seek help from the authorities. And if you're not listened to that first time, speak to somebody else. Keep speaking to people. There will be somebody that will listen and take action. Don't take that first answer.
Anything like that, be as loud as you can and get the support that you deserve.
And we are here as well. Reach out to us.
We're here, guys. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week. This is Lindsay.
And this is Steph.
We're a different human design.
And this is a different podcast.
Ciao.
Good night. You guys, if you...
Why is it like this? Instead of hating, if you love, we invite this. You don't agree, then you're the problem, now we're fighting. Open up your mind, stand up, become righteous. Why is it like this? Instead of hating, if you love, we invite this. You don't agree, then